Hey guys, it's Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and today we're going to take a look at a little two-player card game called Battles of Ohnon. Battles of Ohnon is a two-player game in the style of Stratego, where each player is going to have a set of heroes that they're trying to use to defeat the other player's heroes. It's going to be in a pyramid, and there are going to be different types of weapons that are going to let you either fight the row in front of you, 2 rows away, or 3 rows away, depending on what kind of weapon it is. And then you're going to play over a series of rounds until only one hero remains. That's a little quick overview. Let's go down the table, see how it plays. Here is a game of Battles of Ohnon set up for 2 players, because it's a 2-player game. To set up, you're going to flip 6 cards face down in this pyramid for each player. So this is the first player. This is the second player. Then you're going to shuffle put the shuffle deck here to draw, and you're going to flip 4 cards right here from the bench area, and they'll be able to be the cards that the player is going to draft from. For an easier version of the game, you can use 2 cards instead of 4, but I'm just setting it up in the advanced rules. I'm not going to go into great detail on what everything does. I'm just going to kind of show you what the game looks like and how it's played a little bit. All right, so to get started, each player is going to draft a hero, and they're going to go to one of these areas, and they're going to replace it with the card, and then they're going to flip the card and put it in the bench. So you could be revealing an excellent card, you could be revealing a not so great card, but that's random because these are all flipped down random. Then once every player has all 6 heroes, they're going to start battling, and I'll go into a little bit of that. There are also these fatigue markers, which look like the little sleepy guy. There are some stun, some focus, some weakness, and some damage, which are blood drops. There's a 1 marker and a 5 marker. The 5 marker is smaller and has a 5 on it. Not too difficult. So when a player drafts, they can either draft from the row, or they can select blind from the deck. Some of the cards are going to get special abilities when you draft them. Some of them are not. Some of them are only going to be affected when they're playing in the battle, which will take place after the drafting. So for the drafting, I'm kind of going to just go quickly, but if there's something that happens during the drafting phase, I will make sure that I do that. So I'm going to go ahead and take this one, because she has a ranged attack, which you can see with the little bow and arrow. That means she can shoot anybody, hit anybody. There are certain limitations to weapons, which I will go over in a little bit. I'll reveal this one. So this one has a sword. That means they can only hit the row right. So if this one's in the front, they can only hit that one. It's a melee attack. So it goes into the bench area. Then this player gets to pick one. They're going to take, they'd like to take this one as well, because it's a range. Has nothing when you draft it. So this is the card that they're taking. I'm not going to try to pronounce the names because I'll butcher it terribly, so I'm not going to do it. And they'll put this in the 3rd row because they can hit anybody, so they can protect themselves. And they're going to reveal this one. Now it's available for everybody to use. Let's see. I'm actually going to take this one that I revealed. Deal 1 damage, ignore armor. If the target has only any armor, stun them. So that's kind of cool. And since it's a sword, I'm going to put it in the front so I can make sure that I'm hitting somebody. We're revealing this one. Alright, so this one has a different symbol. It's like a spear with an arrow. That means you can hit 2 rows ahead of you. So if it's in this row, it could hit this one or this one. This sword can only hit this one, and the bow and arrow can shoot 3 rows away, so right now I can hit this one. So that's how that works. Alright. So this is coming over here. It's this player's turn to draft. They're going to take the Warden of Fog. Alright, so this one has an effect after the drafting phase. After the drafting phase, take the top card of the deck and replace one of your champions other than Drayton with it. Discard the replaced champion. So I'm actually going to take a card, since I'm doing a 2-player thing, I'm actually going to take this over here so I remember. Otherwise I'll forget. So I'm going to put him right here, because he has a sword. Alright, let's see. This player's going to take this one. This one has a drafting ability too. So after drafting, whoever her name is, Aline, choose one of your opponent's champions and kill it. The player immediately drafts a champion from the bench to fill the vacated spot and refills the bench with the top card of the deck. So that's kind of cool. So let's go ahead and rock that out. So I'll put her right here. And they're going to kill, I'm going to kill someone. I'm going to kill this guy. So that's dead. And they're going to get to draft a new guy. Let's see, a new hero. They're not all guys. There's some females too. Let's go to this guy. Melee actions by any of your champions deal 1 extra damage. So that's pretty slick. And then we're going to flip a new hero because that's what the power that I did said. And now it's this player's turn to draft. So they will draft this one because this lets you heal. She's going to let me heal. Let that player heal. So that's sweet. So we'll place this one. And then it's this player's turn to draft. They're going to take this guy because it gives some long range damage. They're going to put it right there. Flip this guy. Let's see. Ooh, this player's going to take this one for sure. This one has huge attack. So 4 attack. That's pretty amazing. Alright, so we're going there. So they drafted that, and then it's this player's turn. They want to take another arrow guy. This does not have a drafting action, but here's the card that they're taking. So you can see the artwork and stuff. Alright, there's that. Gonna replace that spot. Flip this one up. They only have stuff in the back row, so they're going to take this one because it has a bow and arrow, which will let them hit this player's first row. So this one player has one more. Let's see. They're going to take this one because it has an arrow, a bow and arrow. So you can see this. He kind of looks like the guy from He-Man, the bad guy. I forget his name, so I'm not going to try to say it. They're flipping this guy. This is the new hero. And then they get the final pick. They will take one off the top. So they drew this one. Let's see what this does. So he just deals with focus counters. So that's kind of fun. So then I have to randomly pick one of these to discard. Not randomly, but I gotta choose one. Put that back. And then because I drafted... Let me find it. Now, they have to replace one of their champions with this one. So they're going to... okay, so they're going to take this guy, because this guy couldn't hit anybody anyway. So they're going to replace... Alright, so now we're going to start fighting. So when you attack with a guy, or a girl, a hero, you're going to have to fatigue it. That means you can't use it anymore this round unless another character says you can. So this player has a first player marker, which is the crown. And then we are going to get started. So this player will go first because they have the token. Let's see. So I'm going to use this one. This one says, deal 1 damage ignoring armor. If the target has any armor, stun them. Alright, so deal 2 damage to the champion in your opponent's first row and 1 to each. Ooh, okay, this is cool. Then move the champion in their first row back a row. Okay, so they're going to deal 2 damage to this guy. He has 2 armor, so he's not going to take any damage. But they're also going to hit these 2 for 1. They do not have armor, so they will take some damage. And then this one gets a swap back. And the player over here we get a pick, but since I'm playing both, I'm just moving it. Alright, and then this player is fatigued. Then it's this player's turn. Let's see. They're going to use this one. That's deal 1 damage and put a weakness marker on the target. So they can hit this one or this row. So they actually want to hit this row. That guy right there. So they're going to give them 1 damage and a weakness. I'm not real sure what weakness does, so let me look that up real quick. Weakness. Okay, so it takes away damage that it would deal by 1. So that player now has less ability to deal some damage. And now this player is tired, so they get a fatigue. Alright, then it's back to this player's turn. they're going to shoot. They can shoot 3 away, so 1, 2. They can hit down to here. So they're actually going to hit this one for 2, but it's going to reduce it by 1 because they're weak. So they're going to drop that there. Then this one's fatigued. Then it's this player's turn. And they're going to use this guy. Deal 1 damage if the target is at less than half health, or deal 1 damage to all champions, ignoring armor. So they're going to do that. All champions. All champions. So I think that might even mean that guy. Yeah. Oh, that stinks. Alright. So, damage. 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 He's fatigued. Damage. No, that doesn't make sense. Why would you do it to your own people? That does not make sense. So I'm just gonna, if this is wrong, the designer will square it away. So, yeah. Alright. So you're gonna keep going like this until everybody has a fatigue. So let's just go ahead and mark it and say everybody over here is tired. And then everybody over here is tired. Then you're going to look and see if anybody is mortally wounded. That means they have damage equal to their health, which is the little red marker on the card. If so, they're going to be taken out. You're going to slide everybody up, player's choice. Then you're going to keep going until only one player has heroes left. And then whoever has the last hero standing is the winner. And that is how you play Battles of Ohnon. Let's go up to the top and see what we think about it. So that was Battles of Ohnon. This is a fun little 2-player game. There have been a lot of these little Stratego-esque games that have come out, but I think I kind of like this one a little more because there's a little more to it. It's got some drafting, it has different types of weapons, it has more decisions than a lot of the other ones, and I like that there are different types of weapons, so you can put people in your front row, you can put people in your back row, or in the middle, depending on how far you want to hit and where you want to hit. It's nice that you can only use the player once, and then you can fatigue it. Some of your heroes can maybe stun your other opponent's heroes to add to the hits of another one of your heroes because of their special abilities. It's a good game. It's not difficult at all. There's a lot of thinkiness to it just because there are so many different cards and so many different powers that you kind of got to remember what's going on. So that might be the only issue that maybe people could get bogged down in, is the amount of cards and the amount of abilities and powers that there are. But again, you're going to do what the card says. You're going to pick an action and do it. And some cards are going to let you move it around. Some cards are going to let you move your opponents around. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward once you get into it. This game's on Kickstarter now. If you want to check it out, I'll put the link in the video description. Let's get this game funded. This is a pretty solid game, and I think it'll appeal to a lot of people who like Stratego or 2-player card games where you just battle each other for the last man standing, or last woman standing, last player standing. How about that? So yeah, that's Battles for Ohnon. If you enjoyed this review, check us out on YouTube. We have videos from myself, Joel, Katie, and Kim. We also have a podcast that you can check us out at bgmechanics.com. Our Facebook page, facebook.com/theboardgamemechanics. And we're on Twitter and Instagram. Twitter is at bgmex and Instagram is boardgamemechanics, but I'll spell it all out so you can find it if you want to. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this review and keep gaming.